Always a pleasure to visit with etiquette expert Diane Gottsman. She's got several questions, etiquette questions that have been sent to you. Your inbox must be fascinating with all these questions you get. Etiquette conundrums.
What to choose?
Yeah, and you've taken to bringing just a small sampling of those questions to us. All right, so let's get to it. First one. A neighbor walks their dog without a bag, allows them to do the obvious in your yard. Should you go outside and call them out or behave neighborly and just clean it up after they leave?
What do you think, Zach?
I would go out there and say something.
You would go out and say something.
Yes.
So I think you can say something. You're correct. I think that if this happens over and over again, you know them, you call them by name, and even if you don't, you can walk out and say, you know, could I get you a bag? I noticed that this is
a great way to start it.
Yes, can I get you a bag and help you out? In other words, please don't do it again.
Now, as a dog owner, I know you should never let that happen, but is it different, like the one time you forget or didn't have a bag, or is this person shows up with their dog every day? I mean, that's much more egregious.
If it's routine, it's much worse than if it just happens, you know, that one time. But even if it happens that one time and you forget, maybe you should go back with your bag.
A dog owner should absolutely do that.
Always remember, there's a lot of cameras out there these days. Homeowners have cameras outside. They
That's
can
right.
See it.
Wow.
So yes, you should say something politely, you know, without starting an argument.
All right, you're searching for a couple seats at a movie theater. One guy's saving an entire row for people who may or may not show up. Can you ask to have a couple?
I think you can. So, what do you think?
Well, I think you can. I don't know if I'd have the guts to, but I think you should.
Because we've all been in that situation where we're the ones saving the seats. It's a really high pressure situation.
Yes. And so when I say I think you can, what I mean by that is you notice there's multiple seats and they haven't come and the lights have gone dark. And you might say, is somebody sitting there? You know, if you're standing there with your two children, you know, are they going to take these seats? At least ask, and you ask politely.
What about if they say no? You just keep.
You're like, I'm sending my dog over to your yard. Next morning.
I feel bad for the people saving the seats.
But you know, most movie theaters now, they're assigned seating, so you don't have that issue.
That's true.
Or a football game, and you've got a whole row of seats. So I think that you want to respect the person who's holding the seats. However, the person that's holding the seats needs to think about the people who are standing up and don't have seats.
Well,
so it's a courtesy.
And taking one seat is one thing. Taking a whole row and saying that's another deal.
Just don't go.
It's much like graduation, much like all of these events where you're putting out all of these, you know, brochures and pamphlets, and you know that people may or may not show up.
Right.
All right. Your friends bring their young child to an adult-only function, maybe dinner at a fancy restaurant. The toddler just runs around the restaurant while everyone else is trying to enjoy the meal. Can you ask them to leave their kid at home?
Yeah. Oh, you just gasped. What do you think?
Do you ask them ahead of time to leave their kid at home?
Yes. Do you? Could you say it? Could you say, you know, it's an adults-only event?
Has anyone said that to you?
I think that's the easy one to do,
I mean, if it's an adults-only,
well, you set the agenda ahead of time.
Yeah, and I think you can. You know, you say it nicely. You say, listen, this is, you know, we're all going out. Can you get a babysitter, you know, next Saturday night so we can all...
That's a nice
Or how about this? You can share babysitters.
Oh, even better.
Or
you need a babysitter? We have one. We can share. Split the cost.
Have you gotten a babysitter yet? If you need some advice, I have.
Yes, here's a list.
And you don't need to browbeat someone if they can't go. That's fine, or don't want to, but say that's what the event is. Okay, finally, a supervisor doesn't call you by your correct name, gives you a shorter version of your name, like Mandy and Amanda. Now it's stuck and everyone's calling you the nickname. How do you change it back?
So what do you do?
I'd say I've been called worse. I don't know.
It's a term of endearment, I think.
But if you want to be called Dave instead of Davy, you know, or Zachy or Mandy, or, you know, I think that you just say, you know, I go by Amanda, and I'd prefer to be called Amanda, you know, rather than Mandy.
Or you go,
you have to
call me that one more time.
You know what I say?
I warn you.
Only my parents call me Mandy.
Okay, yes, if you don't mind. If that's what they call me, you know, growing up. So I think that you say it. You say it nicely. You say it politely. You don't want to embarrass anybody or call them out, Davy.
Yeah, that's right. You know, Diane.
No, get him, David Charles. He's like, oh,
well, that's it. I'm in trouble.
Yes, ma'am. David Charles.
You have to say it. You communicate, but you do it politely.
Right.
Bottom line.
Great line for all these situations. All right. So much fun as always, Diane. We appreciate it. Good advice. And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.